going on, everyone? My name is Masalito, and this is the first video on my channel. Very exciting. This is basically just going to be a story time channel, guys. Nothing too crazy. Just telling stories about my life and the stupidity that I have displayed throughout my years of living. I want to take a second and thank Luna. If you guys are familiar with Storytime YouTube channels, you know exactly who Luna is, or at least you should. He is the whole inspiration for me starting this channel. Um, yeah, his stories reminded me of some of mine, and I decided that, hey, it wouldn't be a bad idea to hop on and start telling them. Anyways, getting into the story. Today we got a pretty basic one. Pretty basic, but it's also a classic. I think lots of people can relate to this experience. It's about the first time smoking weed, smoking grass, or as old my grandma calls it, smoking the pot. Anyways, all takes place on a summer day back in 2017. I was with my buddy Jerry at the time, and we're sitting there watching Tokyo Ghoul, which I wasn't really a fan of, but whatever. I decided to watch it anyways, and turns out I ended up liking it. By the end of the day, I ended up liking it. Has nothing to do with the story, but if you guys haven't watched Tokyo Ghoul, you should watch it. It's a good show. Getting back to it. So we're watching that, and I just wasn't really into it the first couple minutes, and I decided I was going to go smoke a cigarette. So I left and went and smoked a cigarette. Yes, guys, I'm well aware. Cigarettes are disgusting. I do not disagree with you. This was many years ago. So, smoked the nasty cancer stick, and then after that, I came back inside, and Jerry said to me, he's like, hey, our buddy, we'll call him Trevor. Say, Trevor texted Jerry and said, hey, do you want to come over and smoke? Now, like I said, guys, I had never smoked at this point in my life. I actually hated weed. I didn't really have a good reason for it. I just hated it. That's how I was raised, and so I just never wanted to try it. So the day comes where I'm finally offered, and I was kind of hesitant, but I decided, it doesn't hurt to go with. So I said, well, I'll go with you. And so he's like, okay. So a couple hours later, me and Jerry are sitting there playing Assassin's Creed, and he gets text from Trevor again, and Trevor says, "Hey, you guys are cleared to come over. Come over whenever." It's like, okay, cool. So Jerry finishes what he was doing on the game, and after that, we started our walk over there. It was not a far drive, so we just decided to walk because it was summer and it was really nice. So we were walking over there, get there. Now, first of all, guys, let me just establish this was not a nice place that we were going to. This was a sketchy place. Like, it was one of those old, beaten down, scary looking trailers that had boards covering like some of the windows. Dude, I have never seen that in real life up until that day. And I was like, oh man, this is not what I wanted. I'd never been to Trevor's house. And so we go inside, and Trevor grabs the bong and the weed and his girlfriend, and we go out to the backyard. We're sitting there, and they're trying to explain to me how to use a bong, which, I mean, pretty simple. It's, but I couldn't figure it out because I wasn't even gonna try. It's like, you do it. So I just held the bong, and Trevor did the rest. So I'm doing I'm inhaling it, and then he pulls the slide and tells me to, take a big breath. So I did. And guys, that was the most painful smoke I have ever inhaled. It was so hot and so dense. Turns out, I look up after I'm done, like, hacking up a lung, and Trevor's like, got this weird look on his face. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh shit, I'm sorry, man. And I'm like, what? What are you sorry about? Because you don't want to hear that the first time you smoke weed. Like, the first thing running through my head is, what did I just smoke? So I started to kind of freak out a little bit. And then he starts laughing. And I'm like, dude, this is not funny. What did you give me? He's like, nothing. It was weed, but I forgot to put water in the bong. That's why it's so hot. And I was so annoyed. All I could think was, man, this is my first time smoking, and you couldn't even remember to put water in the bong. Like, are you serious? And so I was a little annoyed. So we kind of finished up. Jerry took a few hits, and then we started walking back to Jerry's house. And we get back to Jerry's, and I don't really feel anything. Like, feel a little weird, but like, I part of me thinks that that's just the burning in my throat, and I'm just focused on that. And so we get back to his apartment, and I go inside. And first thing I do is go look in the bathroom, right? I want to see how red my eyes are. And they were red. Holy, they were freaking red. And I was like, "Jerry, am I high? 'Cause I don't feel high." And he's like, "No, I guess not. Like, if you don't feel high, you're not high." I'm like, "Okay, well then that was shitty weed." And he said, "No, it's pretty good. I'm high." So I was super confused. I was like, "What the hell? That doesn't make any sense. How come I've never smoked before and I don't feel a thing and he has and he feels stuff? That doesn't make any sense to me." Because in my head, I was thinking, well, he's got a tolerance, so why am I not feeling it? You know? Whatever. He said that apparently that's normal, and that sometimes you just don't feel it on your first or second time, and I'm like, oh, okay. So about 2 weeks later, I went back to Trevor and I bought some more, and I took it home. I didn't have anything to smoke out of back then, so I was at a loss. So what I did is I took a cigarette and I like rolled the tobacco out and then stuffed it like a cone, and then I smoked that. Once again, guys, didn't feel a thing. So I don't really know why I didn't feel anything. It was really annoying because at this point I'd started spending money on it and I'm still just not getting anything except a sore throat. However, the third time I've smoked, that time I felt something. And that is a story for another day. So, I'm sorry to leave you guys on a cliffhanger like that, but I definitely got to save that story for later. That is a fantastic story that I'm going to be saving for a while. But if you guys stick around, I will most certainly tell it at some point. It is one of my favorites. But thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end of the video. I, like I said, this is all new to me, and I'm really excited to, just start telling these stories. I'm not trying to do this to make money. This is just something I've wanted to do for a while, and I have a lot of stories to tell. And I don't know if you can hear it, guys, but my phone is blowing up. So I'm going to end the video here. I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Yeah, there it goes again. All right, I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. And thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later. Later.